Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics / Non-Classics. This is episode number 1632. And Doubleshot number... Actually, was it 32? No, it was 1638, excuse me. And 1532. My apologies about that. Okay, this one we're discussing two DC trades. One is a finale. First one is going to be a finale for a writer's run. The other one is the start of a run for the Infinite Frontier. It would be the second book I reviewed from the Infinite Frontier stuff. Because I haven't reviewed much of the stuff from the Infinite Frontier relaunch that happened at the start of this year. But this book basically collects issues that came out toward the end of last year. This is Batman Detective Comics, Volume 6, Road to Ruin. This collects issues 1020 to 1033. Excuse me. This is the finale for Pierre Tomasi's run in this book. And you're thinking, really? This is? Yeah, this is it. This is the end of the run. Which seems kind of surprising, to say the least. Also, I should point out, though, this logo for Detective Comics, right here. Yes, when they changed writers, they kept the logo. Yeah, for some reason they changed the logo. I'm not really sure exactly why, but they did. They actually started changing it with, I think it was just after the series hit 1000. That's when they changed the logo for this book. Mostly put the stuff in here is mostly deal with the aftermath of Joker War and this guy named Nikito who's running for mayor of Gotham City. He has things against vigilantes. There's a mention here about... Well, there's a couple of different things going on here. Well, for instance, he's a police officer who was wounded during Joker War. You're thinking, that's quick. A guy who basically got wounded during Joker War, and he runs around New York like not long after he's recovered from injury. What was his injury? Lost an eye. He does get a replacement for it, but he decides to destroy it due to the fact it was paid for by Bruce Wayne. Yep. Now, Bruce Wayne himself basically has to pack up his mansion because he can't afford to live there anymore. Because he lost a lot of his fortune thanks to the Joker. Yes, he did. And he has to move to someplace else now in Gotham City. This doesn't last very long, per se, because the events of the current writers run for Batman, where Batman has moved out of Gotham City, moved to New York City to be a full-time crime fighter because he's been in Gotham City for so long. So, Nico himself is running for on a platform of an anti-vigilante platform. Which I'm like, okay, DC, why the heck are you copying Marvel when it comes to this? Because Wilson Fisk, that was his agenda when he became mayor. He wanted to basically get rid of vigilantes. But at least he had a good reason. Because he's a freaking ex-crime boss. Nico is a former police officer. It's similar, but he's so vengeful toward Bruce Wayne. Just because he's rich. Oh my gosh. It's almost like Tomasi basically felt this point, basically reading this book like, man, I do not like writing this character. I just wanted to leave as soon as the vision finishes the story. I can hand it to somebody else because I'm sure he probably... I'm not sure what his feelings was toward Infinite Frontier. If I get a chance to see him again, I will ask him about that. So, by the way, there is a follow-up that happened from... the story of Robin No More, basically from the second annual for Robin, when, not Robin, it was for the Teen Titans, where Damian Wayne gave up being Robin, and Pierre Tomasi does address that in here. Yes, Tynion doesn't address it at all. Nope, because he's doing his own thing in Batman, which is still really good. I love the stuff he did in Batman. I mean, he's doing his own thing. Tomasi is following with Damian, purely because he wrote him for 3 years. He knows the character. I like how he wrote Damian. I think he was the best. I think he's by far, aside from Grant Morrison, the best guy to write Damian Wayne. That's just my opinion. I was not really big. I think probably the worst writer who wrote Damian was Adam Glass. And you think Ben Percy was bad? Because oh no. Adam Glass was worse. I was not a fan of Adam Glass's style when it came to writing him. You probably think, okay, what about the guy who wrote Teen Titans just prior to Flashpoint? I think he did an okay job writing Damian there. That's just my opinion anyways. But I think overall, Tomasi's the best writer. I would say number 2 is his creator, Grant Morrison. I would probably say number 3 is probably the person who wrote Teen Titans, the issue that led into issue 100. During the last year of the book prior to its relaunch of the New 52. And you're probably thinking, okay, is there any other writer you can think of who is really good at writing Damian? Honestly, no. Only a small handful. There's like maybe a few good writers for Damian. Like, that's just my opinion anyways. If anybody has any opinions about which writers who are the best writing Damian Wayne, feel free to leave in the comments below. But in my opinion, Tomasi's the best guy who wrote it because I love the guy. I love the way he wrote him. So he does dress on here. He does basically, Batman does offer Damian the chance to go rob again. He says no, and he goes off. Where does he go off to? Well, next time you see him after this is actually in a brief backup feature that happened in this book and continued also in the pages of Batman that led to the current ongoing series by Josh Williamson called Robin. Yes, for a character being Robin, he's back being Robin again. Yep. Also, Hush isn't here. Yes, Hush's appearance in here feels completely random at best because his whole thing is that apparently he's been manipulating people in order to get people to turn against the Batman family, despite the fact how some good that the Batman family has done for the city. They seriously have tried to fight crime. But no, we have Hush appearing here just cause he pops up for the last couple issues and he briefly holds Tim Drake hostage. But in my opinion, Hush's appearance in here feels completely random. It's like, oh, here's Hush, a very popular character, and his appearance here feels very random. Yes, seriously. Let's see. Well, Nico himself does win his election bid, and by the way, at the start of the Frontier, he is the mayor. He's still the mayor of Gotham City, which they kept that going. I'm sure that was probably something he was asked to do, because I don't think that in the case of doing politics like this, on this anti-vigilante platform, I'm not really sure if this was his idea per se. I'm sure it probably was not his idea to have Bruce Wayne no longer be a billionaire anymore, reduced to be a millionaire. Yes, I'm sure that was probably not his idea. It may have been Tinian's idea, but at least acknowledges it in the book. Yep. But for the final book under Peter Tomasi's run, this book is really good. I would probably say the only thing that's not good about this book is the random Hush appearance. Yeah, he pops up for like 2 issues, and that's it for Hush. As a matter of fact, I think after this, he doesn't appear again after this. No, seriously, Thomas Elliot himself, as far as I remember, he does not appear again after this. He just completely disappears. Let's see. Because I don't remember him appearing after this. Like, as soon as his arc wrapped up, like, let's see. Yeah, as far as I can tell, this was his last and most recent appearance to date. Actually, that was 2 issues. Actually, the last 3. Yes. And you know what the weird thing is? Right after issue 1033 came out, the series went hiatus for about 2 months. Yep, it skipped 2 months. Came back in March. Yep. Now, aside from having Peter Tomasi as the writer of this book, we have Brad Walker on the artwork. Along with Kenneth Rockford, Buck Evely, and Nicola Scott. Yes. And we also have appearances in the storyline by, well, Nightwing, Batgirl, Orphan, who was in her Batgirl costume, Red Hood, Batwoman, The Signal. Now, Nightwing does save people at a party, but here's the thing. Oh, yeah, by the way, Bullock is still commissioner. They do acknowledge that he's come back to duty after being in the hospital for a while. he doesn't fully trust Batman per se, but he's not. And then apparently, for some reason, despite the fact that Nightwing did save some people, they tried to arrest him for doing his job. I'm never really a big fan of that. Not at all. That could be the reason why Tomasi left. Maybe because he got tired of politics, I'm not sure. Okay, now final thoughts on Tomasi's run. Now I own all the books under Peter J. Tomasi's run for Detective Comics. Volume 1, Mythology. By the way, I should point something out about the way these books look. From this book up until Joker War, the spines look like this. Volume 2, Arkham Knight. I love the way he did Arkham Knight here. It was so good. Greetings from Gotham. Cold Vengeance. And this was the last trade to have the spine, well, appear kind of yellow. Yeah, that was the last one to appear like this. Because, for some reason, I'm not really sure why this is, they decided to change the spine to look like this. And, believe it or not, that's what the spines look like now. They look like this now, this particular style. They basically abandoned they pretty much stopped doing the style they did post, I think it was like Dark Knight Metal. Yeah, they got rid of that design and went with this. Joker War, which this was actually pretty fun. And finally, Volume 6. Tomasi's run, in my opinion, was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed this book under PJ Tomasi. He definitely was a great choice to come back this book. And he is one, like, I would say since 2016, of all the writers who wrote this book, I would say he's one of 2 I've actually met. Now, basically, we had under the renumbering, the classic renumbering for this series, we had James Hume IV, who was the most recent writer of Batman. We had him in the book for quite a while, and his run was fantastic. I never heard any complaints about it, per se. People love that run. And then he left. I never asked Tinian about why he left, he just did. He got replaced briefly by Brian Hill for a story arc that was simply put a backdoor pilot into the Batman the Outsider series, which that got canceled last year after 17 issues. And they have James Robinson take over for about a couple story arcs. By the way, those story arcs were actually collected in the regular trades. And then for some reason, I'm not really sure why, they decided to relaunch the numbering. The graphic numbering for Detective Comics once Tomasi came on board. And they're going to do it again with Margaret Tamakagi, who is the current writer of the book. Which, I like her run. I just don't like the fact she got Man-Bat. Yeah, but it's interesting, though, like, a lot of the DC books nowadays have got backup features. I would say the only one of the very few who don't is Nightwing. Yeah, Nightwing doesn't have one. Batman, I don't think Batman has one. No, Batman, basically the only ones I can think of that have backup features is Detective Comics, Wonder Woman, I believe The Flash. I think that's it. Yeah, I believe that's it. Oh yeah, and also, like, one other book which I'm about to talk about here. This is The Joker. Oh, by the way, look closely at that. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I love the fact they did it for the cover for this book. This is the first trade to collect issues from Joker. But here's the weird thing about this trade. It does not collect the entirety of the issues. Oh no. It just collects the opening story. You see, there was a backup feature starting with issue 2. Punchline. Yes. And here's the fun fact about the Joker having an ongoing series. Not the first one he's had. This might make some people think, oh, Joker's got an ongoing series, first time ever. That's a lie. Because he had one. Back in the 70s. Yes. A very brief run which DC has put into trade. There's a complete collection of Joker. Let's see if we can find it here. Let's see if we can find it here. Yeah, there was a comic published back in the 70s from 1975 to 1976. It lasted for 10 issues. Well, technically 9. Well, actually 10, yes. Nine was released in 76, but 10 was released in 2019. Okay, the book is called The Chamberlain Collection, which actually a couple of them. First you have Joker, the Clown Prince of Crime, which collects the entire original 9-issue run. And you have Brian J's Omnibus, which came out a couple of years ago. That collects the entire run. Yep. And the writer of that book was... Actually, there were 3 different writers. You have Elliot S. Migan, the late Danny O'Neill, and Martin Pasico. This book is written by James Dean IV. And you might be thinking, despite the fact this book is called The Joker, it's more about Commissioner Gordon. Yep, the only reason why they basically claim it's Joker ongoing series, because Commissioner Gordon probably would not work on his own as an ongoing series, because he may be a great character, he's good as a supporting character. But Joker doesn't really appear very much in his own series per se. And we do have debut of one new character, a woman named Vengeance. And you're probably thinking, who the heck is this woman? This woman is the daughter of Bane. Yes, but they'll explain her backstory in issue 9. Yep. The first time we see her is that she's bathing. Yes, seriously. We also have this mysterious woman who basically brings Commissioner Gordon with her. Well, by the way, Jim Gordon, he's actually retired. Basically, her task is to bring everything about the Joker. And, oh yeah, he knows all about the Joker. He hates him. Out of all the Batman villains, he hates the Joker the most. Why? Because he shot his daughter, Barbara Gordon, and put her in a wheelchair for several years. In pre-Flashpoint, she was in a wheelchair for 20 years before they took her out of that wheelchair. Yeah. They kind of explained here that she was going, Bane's daughter was going to a test tube. I'm not going to show it here, but the first time we see Vengeance, she's completely naked. Yeah, I'm not going to show it. So we also have this thing where Batman and Jim Gordon basically form a partnership, and also he wants access to the Batcomputer. And like, okay, interesting. He's like, yeah, good. Yeah, he asked Batman for help. He asked basically about the woman. And second, there's plenty of information I can get after a few phone calls, but not without attention. I don't want any attention from any of the authorities, so I need my own intelligence. And Batman says, you want access to the Batcomputer. And Jim Gordon is like, you keep all the parental controls you want. Yes, I want access to all Joker's contents for game members. Basically the works. I need more than a corkboard, Batman. I may have all the information I'm asking for, organized, even have configuration. And a few can't. Okay, let me think about how I can best this. I'm not done. I never reach you. You want my phone number? You're damn right. Yeah, because he's not a commissioner. He's not a commissioner anymore, so he can't use the bat signal to contact him. Nope, need a phone call. Okay. So we have this like little flashlight. We have Oracle pop up in here, which is so awesome. We have this weird guy missing part of his face, who Joker just hangs out in his, like, his name is Desmond. And mostly, but we just follow Commissioner Gordon a lot of the time in this book. There is a mention here about Batgirl 50, which is when Barbara gives up being Batgirl. And finally, we have Vengeance. She comes out of her tube, and I'm not going to show this picture here because it's her rear end. I want to be decent for her. Yeah, but she puts on a Bane mask, and she is in fact Bane's own daughter. Oh yeah, by the way, the mysterious woman who contacted Jim Gordon is somebody I did not expect her to be associated with. This woman is part of the Court of Owls. Yes, making their first appearance in the start of Tim Seeley's run for Nightwing. I'm like, I thought this group was shut down like 5 years ago, and nope, they're back. Yeah, Court of Owls are back, despite the fact Fly Writers claim in books basically that we shut them down, we shut down the international version. Nope, they're back for some reason. And then we have a flashback to Killing Joke when Gordon was kidnapped and held in prison by the Joker. And then, of course, he meets up with the mysterious woman. And Orphan decides to follow. We have Orphan and we have Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown here. I love the fact Stephanie Brown is wearing the bat symbol on her chest. Basically, they're the Batgirls. And Barbara Gordon's Batgirl Prime. Which, love that. And that's just loose center for the ongoing series Batgirls, which started just this month, mind you. Yes. So here's Vengeance in her full glory. Yes, Vengeance, the daughter of Bane. Yes. Yeah, and then we have this really funny thing with, like, basically, I think Gordon is in Santa Prisca. So basically, knocks on the door, and it knocks on his door and says, "Quinn, yes? Sorry, my Spanish isn't too strong. I was hoping to ask a few questions looking for a friend of mine." Jimbo, was that really you? Yeah, and obviously, as an obvious reaction to the fact that Jim Gordon hates Joker, he pulls his gun at him. He's like, and Joker's like, "Guns down, everybody! Guns down! That's my old pal of mine, Jim from Gotham City. Fun we used to have." Think of the, I think it's a sense of a swear or get off the pop moment. Yep. See, we're friends. It's like, "Oh, Jimmy boy, you showed up just in time," this sort of thing. Yep. Of course, Vengeance is, of course, after Joker because it's been allegedly, it's been assumed since Infinite Frontier #0 that Joker was responsible for the death of Bane. Yeah, he killed Bane. Apparently, Bane was killed via Joker gas. It was suspected he was killed by him, and it's not been officially been confirmed yet. No. Yeah, Bane is definitely dead. Oh, don't worry. They found his body in Infinite Frontier #0, so he is definitely dead. They have not confirmed yet if the fact Joker was responsible for killing him. So Vengeance is basically, we even had one point where Vengeance is holding Joker by the throat. Possibly and she's probably going to kill him as payback for killing her father. But nope, that doesn't happen. Lots of gas, and then of course we have stuff with then we have this weird thing where Joker brings out a wire and sews Gordon's mouth shut. Like, what the heck? I'm not really sure what was the point of this at all. Like, he just torturing him for some reason, and he just relieves the wire. He chats him for quite some time, and then, of course, Vengeance frees him. You're like, "You're James Gordon from Gotham City." "Yes." "Go home, Mr. Gordon. You're already drawn in darkness. Head back so you can stay light." Oh yeah, and by the way, for issue 5, yeah, by the way, this trade collects the first 5 issues of the series. We have an abrupt change of artwork. Yes. Because at the start of this, it was Gilliam March. And then, for some reason, issue 5, they placed it with a really good artist. One of my personal favorites. I've never met this person, but I love this guy's artwork. Francisco Fracuglia. Yes. A guy who basically, art style, has a very noir, has basically a real, sort of a light noir style. But I love this guy's artwork. The flashback when Jim Gordon was like a cop. Basically, it's a bit of a flashback issue. But yeah, it's when he had red hair. Yeah, stuff we interact with the Joker. Basically, Earth time. The whole book is a flashback, but I love this guy's artwork. And then you have Gordon going home and seeing, well, wine spilled and it's called the Joker. But there's a couple other stories in Spider-Man issue 5 was last to put in this trade. Let's look here. We also have, get this. There's a couple other things in here. There are stories in here from Batman Joker War Warzone one-shot along with Batman 100. This first one is from Joker Warzone, where I hate when the thing does this. Okay, yes. So Bane is in Arkham Asylum, and Joker expresses this at the point with him how failure of villain he is. He puts his mask back on him. Yes, he puts his mask back on him. Leaves him strapped up to this thing, all chained up, so he does not get involved. And in fact, he really hates him. You'd think he's going to kill him here, but nope. He just leaves him here to die. By the way, you have a brief flashback here of City of Bane. Yes, City of Bane. And by the way, Bane has been locked up in Arkham Asylum since then. So he just leaves. And there's sort of gas. By the way, the story is called A Serious House, which is a nod to the one-shot Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Earth. And then we have the story from issue 100, which focuses on the character Punchline. Yep, they throw this in here. And they don't really, despite the fact it focuses on Punchline, for some reason, one thing I don't like about this trade, it does not include the Punchline feature. Nope, it doesn't. I'm like, really? Yeah, it doesn't, which I thought was kind of weird. But this book is really good. 10 out of 10. It's a damn good book. I love it. Yep. So yeah, that's a particular review. Take a little break, and I'll be back for a couple more comic corners. Okay, next video. Bye.